Hello, my name is Kayla Scott. I am a student at Howard University and the University Mentor Coach, Chief of Staff here at Village Education Tutors Foundation. I am joined here today by Jaylin Roundtree, a student at the College of St. Rose. Jaylin is a fellow UMC and our communication lead for the Charter School of Newcastle.
Hi, everyone. I'm so glad to be here today.
We are so excited to present to you our 2021 Scholar Voice podcast. This is the first part of our Scholar Celebration for the 2021-22 cohorts at Village Education Tutors Foundation.
Today's discussion will feature some of our brilliant young scholars from Colonial School District, Charter School of Newcastle, and Mastery Charter School. Our scholars have been working hard these past few months in our program and would love to share some of their experiences with Village Education Tutors Foundation and their overall personal and academic journeys. The goal of our Scholar Voice podcast is to showcase the many diverse voices and experiences of our scholars while uplifting and empowering them in the process.
I'm so excited to showcase our scholars today. When we designed this project, our UMC staff had many different sources of inspiration. We decided that a podcast would be one of the best ways to shine a light on our scholars.
Definitely, Kayla. I think that podcasting is playing a very influential role in modern academic idea and concept sharing. It creates a unique and safe platform for our youth to share their voices and engage with one another and their audience.
Absolutely. I love podcasts. I'm always finding new ones to listen to. I drew a lot of inspiration for this project from Lauryn Hill's album, The Miseducation of Lauryn Hill, where she used the voices from the youth of Newark, New Jersey to start the album. She sprinkled in gems that those young scholars were dropping during the conversation about love. I've always enjoyed this album and was always intrigued when I heard their voices. There was great intention in that on Lauren's part. She not only shared her experiences and knowledge, but also that of the youth. She valued their voices and let them echo on her album that now sits as a classic and treasure of hip hop.
Thanks so much for sharing that, Kayla. I agree 100%. It's really important that we uplift the voices of our youth. They have so much to say and offer the world. Which brings me back to why we're all here today. Let's get into our discussion. I'm so happy to introduce to you our featured scholars.
My name is Darlene. I'm 14 and I'm in Colonial School District.
Awesome. Okay, so let's just get started with our discussion. So the first thing I wanted to ask you is just like if you want to share a little bit about like the value of education for you, or like what it means to be able to like have a good education or like be a part of this program.
What it means to me is getting extra help with work and getting more understanding of algebra, and also with a good education you can have more job opportunities and get far in life.
Right. Yeah, so I definitely understand that, and having a good educational foundation is really important, like to, set up your future and things like that. So is there anything like specific that you want to like, any goals or plans that you have for the future that you think that your education can set you up for?
Becoming a mortician when I'm older.
Wow, that's an interesting job choice. What got you interested in that?
I have no idea.
Okay.
Just a lot of money.
Oh, well, that's definitely part of it. So how would you say that this program, like in particular, through like it could be academic or just like your experience in general with Village, but how would you say that that's helping you prepare for your like career goal as a mortician?
I say it's good because it's like you're not afraid to ask for help when you need it and you have a lot of help.
Yeah, that's definitely really important. We do really try to like create a space where we can support you guys and remind you that like it's okay to ask for help and it's okay to like make mistakes, because the path, to success or our future is not always an easy one. So, um, is there anything maybe that you feel like you've learned over the past few months, about yourself or about like education, or anything that you would want to like share with another student who's going through the same things as you are, or like on this same path, like educational journey?
It's okay. That's all I have to say.
That's all that it's okay to learn or to grow or to make mistakes, or do you want to like elaborate a little bit?
Yes, it's okay to make a lot of mistakes, and it's okay to ask for help, and it's okay to socialize with other people, and not everyone out here is bad as you think it is.
That is true. So you did say something about like socializing with other people. Do you feel like being part of this program has like had an impact on your social life at all?
Yes.
Like in what ways? Like with your teachers or your coaches or with other students?
With coaches and teachers and other students.
Okay. It was really awesome to get a chance to talk to Darlene and have that conversation shared in our Scholar Voice podcast. Darlene is really such an amazing scholar. She's unique and she's a joy to be around. She has so much to offer the world, and the goal of our work here at Village is to uplift scholars like her often. During our conversation, I was really thrilled to hear about her vision for the future. When she talked about her desire to be a mortician, I was really intrigued, because you don't really hear about that every day, and most people don't know about the history and pride that that role has had in the Black community. I mean, to think that in some places, morticians were some of the first business owners in Black communities after the Civil War. Where other Black businesses and gathering spaces such as restaurants, churches, and shops were oppressed by racial-based violence, the funeral homes were always maintained. And that's such a legacy. In nurturing this path for scholars like Darlene, we need to create a space where she can learn more about a passion like this and be connected to a community who is looking forward to seeing her grow.
My name is Avalise. I'm in 8th grade and I go to Charter School of Newcastle.
All right, Evelise, thank you so much for sharing a bit. Okay, and so now we're going to, I'm going to ask you our first question for today. What are some of the goals and aspirations that you have for yourself? And they can be academic, they could be more personal goals, whatever that looks like for you.
My academic goals are to get into a private high school and to go to a good college. And then a personal goal is to be the best person I can be.
Come on, being the best person you can be. So what does that look like for you? Do you know what kind of college you want to go to? Do you want to go to an HBCU? Do you want to go to an Ivy League school? Do you want to go to a trade school? Like, what does that look like for you?
I want to go to an Ivy League school and I want to learn medical.
Okay, come on, you would be a future doctor. I love to hear that. And like, where do you think this came from? So when did you decide, hey, I want to go to an Ivy League school. I want to be a doctor. What does that look like?
When I visited Harvard, I really liked it. So I decided I wanted to go to that school. And I just always wanted to help people. And I realized I could help people a lot by becoming a doctor.
Yeah, that's awesome. And we definitely need way more doctors, especially more doctors that are women. And then, of course, more doctors who are, people of color, right? We need all that representation. So it's very important. So that's awesome that you definitely see yourself like being a doctor. And so my next question is, what do you hope to gain through your experience in a program like ours?
I hope to gain more confidence in myself and more confidence in my math work.
Okay, and so how do those two work hand in hand, the confidence in yourself and then your confidence in mathematics?
Sometimes I second guess myself when it comes to math, so I'd like to be more confident in my answers.
Yeah, that's awesome. Do you feel like in your math sessions that you're able to kind of feel confident in, saying if you got an answer wrong or if you're confused about something? What does that look like in your sessions here at Village?
If I get the answer right, then they usually just congratulate me on that. But sometimes I do get the answers wrong, and then we just work through the problem.
Okay, right. And so do you feel like your UMC, your university coach really supports you in that? Or do you feel like your teacher really guides the whole lesson into catching those nerves?
Both help a lot.
That's awesome. Okay. And then how has Village helped you to reach and while you're working towards some of your goals that you have set?
Village has helped me have less anxiety about math and to learn more about algebra.
Okay, so I guess you really enjoyed our math anxiety module. Was that something that kind of helped you earlier in the school year? How did the math anxiety module really help you conquer some of your anxiety towards math?
It helped me to have a more positive mindset about it.
Yeah, especially like when you get into the mindfulness trainings. I know as a UMC, when I do wellness with the scholars that I work with.
I'm so glad that we got to hear that awesome interview between Kayla and Avalise. And thanks so much, Kayla, for leading that interview. Part of our program is to make sure that we have one-on-one relationships and conversations with our scholars. And another big part of our program is making sure that we check in with our scholars often and have them reflect on their overall experience with Village and their just general academic and personal growth. For the next part of our program, we're going to be hearing from some of our UMCs who are going to be reading back some responses that our scholars have submitted that are just some insight about their experience in our program, their future goals, and just like their overall academic and personal journeys.
Village Education Tutors Foundation has supported students like Amaya from Colonial School District. She says Village pushed me out of my comfort zone and helped me try new things.
My education is valuable because the things I learn give me a strong foundation to go further in life. This will assist me in real-world scenarios to thrive in my future career, says Lanika from Colonial School District.
Ivana from Charter School of Newcastle says, one of my life goals is to be a good doctor and help people.
When asked, how has VETF helped you in reaching or working towards some of your goals that you have set for yourself, Jacina from Colonial School District said, sometimes I struggle in math class and remember something I did here online, and it helps.
Thank you so much for joining us today for our Scholar Voice podcast. We are so proud of our scholars and beyond grateful that they are part of our Village family. We'd also like to give a special thanks to our scholars who are part of today's podcast. We cannot wait to see where the new year takes us as we continue on our path of growth, learning, and success. Thank you all for your continued support of Village Education Tutors Foundation.